Family story. Lunchtime at the Boronat's house is a lot like any American family of 6.
Mayo or mustard?
Everyone pitching in with the sandwiches, including second child Danny, who has autism.
I'm making Daddy a sandwich.
A neurological disorder affecting behavior, speech, and social skills with no known cause or cure.
Alex, do you want a sandwich?
As many as 500,000 Americans under the age of 21 have autism, most of them boys. Danny, considered high functioning, reads at a second grade level and competes in the Special Olympics, an 8-time medalist to be exact.
We have all these hardships, but yet he's had some really terrific accomplishments.
Like so many similar families, Danny's care has fallen to his parents and siblings, who've served as caregivers and camp counselors since Danny was diagnosed at age 3.
Everybody pitches in, and the family is we're very close, and we try to help each other and support each other as much as possible. But it also, I have to say that there's just a tremendous amount of stress.
Stress that increases by the day, week, and month. You see, Danny is about to turn 21, and for someone with autism, that means entering the unknown of what happens next.
He will be graduating this year because he's turning 21 in the end of April. So he goes through the end of this school year. And then it's up to us to have been ready for that.
Ready to fill the void left by school and the job training program that make up Danny's current daily life. After 17 years of tireless advocacy, the Boronats, like most parents of older children with autism, have few options after their child graduates.
It's really up to state agencies to help get them a placement in the appropriate workplace.
Aside from practical matters like jobs, there's the social life of a young adult with autism.
It's heartbreaking that he's home with his parents and doesn't have that much to do.
While autism awareness has grown exponentially over the last 20 years, thanks in large part to the dedication of families like the Boronats, much of the focus has been on early childhood intervention. But other pieces of the autism puzzle remain as a new generation of people living with the mysterious condition come of age.
Our biggest fear is what's going to happen and what's his life going to be like when we're not around someday.
The Boronats started a non-profit organization specifically for young adults with autism. It's called Danny's House, and you can find out more information on Danny's House by logging on to our website at today.msnbc.com. Barbara Kantrowitz is a senior editor with Newsweek magazine. Hey, Barbara, good to have you here.
Thanks.
So many people talk about autism, talk about kids, children, 6, 7, 8 years old. What's the impact on families when these children grow up?
Well, I think it's just as terrifying as it is when you first get the diagnosis. Families often tell the story when they first find out their kid has autism that they have no resources, nobody tells them what to do. The same thing happens again when the child reaches 21, and at that point there's many different levels of functioning, and it's really up to the family, as Mrs. Boronat said, to find what's the appropriate place.
And watching Danny there, and if you know people with autism, you know that he is very high functioning compared to some of the children. And so imagine those children as they come into adulthood and the stress it puts on a family.
That's true. And a lot of parents, their greatest fear is what will happen after they pass on.
Who's going to take care of our child?
Who is?
Or our adult?
Right. And, some families, the siblings willingly take it on, and in others, there are no siblings or they're unable to do it. It's very difficult.
There isn't a cure for autism. There isn't even agreement, really, on how best to treat autism. Why is that?
It's just, I think we're just beginning to learn about it. It was identified in the 40s, but it wasn't really until the last 20 years that researchers began to focus on it, largely because of the efforts of parents. We've just begun to define what it is. The treatments are still, there are some kinds of treatment that work, but we're really at the beginning of our knowledge about this terrible disorder.
But is this a case of dollars and cents? I mean, is it, if more money is placed on this problem, is it going to help, or is this simply a mystery that is yet to be unraveled?
Well, both of those things are true. It is a mystery that needs to be unraveled. Money will help researchers study it. We can't predict how long it will take them to find a cause or a cure, if they ever do. We've been studying other mental disorders for many years now, and we still don't really understand schizophrenia. We are just beginning to understand depression. The mind is a mysterious thing.
There is something encouraging on the horizon. That's a bill before Congress right now that would double federal funding for research into autism. Is it looking very favorable?
It's looking favorable that it will be passed. A lot of the parents are really happy about this. It's the beginning, they hope, of other measures to look into other aspects of the disorder. The story of autism is similar to the stories of some other disorders like breast cancer, where the people most affected have really lobbied to get attention and to get money for research. And I think you really have to admire the parents in this case.
Yeah, and by the way, when you speak of people most affected, if this bill in Congress passes, a committee that would be formed as a result of this bill would have a person with autism on the committee and the parent of a person with autism on the committee as well, so they get firsthand knowledge.
I think that's great. And in fact, a lot of the letters we've already gotten, the email in response to our story, are from adults with autism who say that it's really important to hear the voices of these people.
Barbara, thank you so much. Barbara Kantrowitz, who is a senior editor with Newsweek magazine.